Elon Musk and Tesla just pulled another rabbit out of the hat and just posted some absolutely shocking results, folks, okay? This has ramifications for Tesla. This is going to massively change a lot of things in regards to Tesla stock. This is going to change things in regards to the stock market in general. Many various things we got to talk about in today's video, folks. Appreciate everybody being subscribed to the channel as always. Elon Musk pulls it off once again, man. Him and Tesla, these guys are something else. And as a Tesla shareholder, I just sit back and I'm amazed. I'm simply amazed time and time again that they post some of these numbers. They post, man, absolutely shocking. Okay, hope you enjoy this as always. Okay, so Tesla posted its second quarter vehicle production delivery report for 2023 on Sunday. Here are the key numbers for the electrical vehicle maker. Total deliveries for Q2. 466,000 deliveries in the quarter. Total production, 479,700 for good old Tesla Tesla. The numbers beat analyst expectations and indicate, and we'll show analyst numbers in just a moment, and indicate that Tesla deliveries rose 83% year over year for Tesla after Elon Musk auto business added manufacturing capacity and ramped up production at its vehicles assembly plant in Austin, Texas. 83 flippin' flapjacking percent growth year on year. 83%. That's insanity for deliveries to be up that. Who else is posting those sorts of numbers in the auto category? I can tell you who. Absolutely nobody. Ridiculous, okay? I mean, these other automakers are barely trying to even break even with their businesses right now. And here you are, Tesla just trucking along and posting 83% growth year over year in deliveries. Oh gosh. And I mean, the numbers last year were insane, that Tesla had posted, right? Like the numbers in 2022, especially in these quarters we're having a comp against year over year, they were ridiculous growth. And now you get this and it's like, you got to be flipping my flapjacks. And here's the most amazing part of this, okay? Here's the most amazing part. Look at this. This is interest rates on 60-month new car loans in the United States, right? And this basically covers about the last decade or so. And here we are at a moment where interest rates are far and away higher than they've been any time in the past decade, if not 2 decades. And you've got Tesla putting up these sorts of results when interest rates really around the world have shot up like insane over the past, let's call it 12 to 18 months here. Absolutely incredible, okay? Tesla groups deliveries into 2 categories, but does not report individual model or region-specific numbers. The second quarter of 2023 marked the 5th period in a row when Tesla reported a higher level of vehicles produced compared to deliveries. During the second quarter of last year, Tesla reported 254,000 deliveries, and in the first quarter of 2023, Tesla reported 422,000 deliveries. During the second quarter of 2022, Tesla produced 258,000 vehicles, right, in 2022. Now they just, produced 440, right? And it's just insane growth on a year-over-year basis to be posting these sorts of numbers, just absolutely ridiculous. Deliveries are a carefully watched number by Tesla shareholders as the closest approximation of sales disclosed by the company. Absolutely. I mean, if you know what Tesla's basically delivering for a quarter, you can figure out, not to the exact penny, but you can figure out very, very close, within a couple percent, of likely what Tesla's basically doing for revenue, because ASPs aren't rocket science to kind of figure out those. Wall Street was expecting Tesla to report deliveries of 445,000 for the period, right? And so 445,000 was the expected, right? And company obviously came in with 466,000, right? So I mean, we're talking about, as far as deliveries go, you're talking about an over 20,000 vehicle beat. Now, when your vehicles are, let's say, $40,000, $50,000, whatever ASP you want to run at, I'm just throwing those numbers out there, right? I can tell you over $20,000 or over a 20,000 unit beat when you're selling products at a $40,000, $50,000 is is a lot of revenue. You can go ahead and run those numbers, okay? It's a monumental number, okay? The independent researcher who publishes under the handle Troy Tesla-like was expecting deliveries of 448,000 in production of 471,000 vehicles, right? So clearly they beat on both those metrics for what Troy Tesla-like was basically kind of expecting, which, by the way, I do follow him on Patreon. I think it's like $5 or $10 a month or whatever. And I kind of, take a peek at what his, production numbers or deliveries, and he's pretty good with his numbers, right? But even he was off. Even Troy was off in regards to this one, right? He was expecting deliveries of 448. Company came in at 466. And so, I was looking at his numbers, and I was kind of like, maybe this is not going to be such an exciting quarter. And then they come in and they blow away even his numbers. So, I'm going to still stay part of his Patreon, obviously. I like being part of that. The only better Patreon, obviously, in the world to be part of is mine, because you get to see all the moves I'm making in the market. But, that is what it is, okay? Now, look at this here. It's very important. Piper Sandler senior research analyst Alexander Potter wrote in a note on June 26 that according to the firm's analysis, prices have been stable for Tesla during the second quarter on balance. The company's steep discounts in and beyond China in the first quarter sparked cries of a price war in the electric vehicle market. Potter cautioned that price cuts in Q3, if any, could reignite concerns about margins, for sure, right? But here we are in a moment when Tesla looks like, they're going to be able to keep prices stable. We'll see how the economy fares, but if the economy stays decent, there's also a potential here, folks, that Tesla could start going back up on some prices in the back half of this year, which would obviously increase margins, okay? And so this is just something important to kind of keep in mind here. And I can tell you, when you're posting numbers like 83% growth year over year in deliveries, Tesla doesn't really need to lower price anymore. It clearly looks like they've got more demand than they could ever know what to do with. When you report 83% growth on a year over year basis, dude, you're doing the insane numbers. And the next thing I think about what happens when Cybertruck hits. We know Cybertruck's going into production in the back half of this year to some sort of extent, right? We don't think it's going to be at mass production until 2024, but we know this is going to go into some sort of production. And the question is, with this baby ramping up in a major, major way in 2024, what type of supercharge are we talking about, no pun intended, for Tesla's numbers here, okay? Because this is going to be absolutely insane. I think Cybertruck is still lost on a lot of people in regards to Wall Street, and they forget that this is the most talked about vehicle in the history of mankind. We've never seen a vehicle get this much buzz and excitement and talk about when this vehicle obviously was shown off, right? Everybody and their grandma was talking about Cybertruck and, I don't know about that thing. What did Elon do? They busted the window. It looks crazy, this and that, right? And so it's going to be fascinating to see what that does for Tesla's numbers overall. And I can tell you, when you're already posting these sorts of numbers and you're going to add this fuel to the fire, what a time to be a shareholder of Tesla, okay? In March, Musk announced that Tesla plans to build a new factory near Monterrey, Mexico, a day's drive from Austin, Texas factory. After meeting with India, by the way, do you know what type of margins are going to come out of that factory? Oh my gosh, okay? And that's just going to be, in my opinion, that there's two ways to look at that, okay? Two ways to look at that. One is this is going to supercharge margins in a significant way, right? Because let's just call it what it is. If you're going to produce vehicles in Mexico, I can tell you it's going to be far cheaper than if you produce those same vehicles in Austin, Texas, and way cheaper than if you produce those vehicles in Fremont, California, okay? Bottom line, there's no debate about that. That's simple business 101. But the other factor I don't think enough people are considering in regards to the potential, Monterrey, Mexico facility and what that could produce. I don't think enough people are considering the potential that instead of Tesla taking the extra margin they'd make on those vehicles made in Mexico, what they could do is lower prices even more, which would create a dynamic, right? Let's say it's let's just throw out a ballpark number. Let's say it's $3,000 cheaper to produce a vehicle at that Mexico facility versus Fremont, California, right? And we'll see where all the numbers shake out. Maybe it's way more than that. I don't know, okay? Let's just say it's $3,000. Tesla could say, you know what? We're going to drop $3,000 off the price. That creates another huge headwind for everybody that has to compete against Tesla, because they just dropped price even more, which made their products even more competitive, which means you're in even a deeper world of trouble if you're anybody that has to compete with Tesla. So that's an intriguing part of whatever Tesla's up to here. Is they can either take that as margin and throw it to the bottom line, or they can do the Amazon effect, which says, you know what, screw kind of numbers short term. It's kind of the Jeff Bezos approach. We are going to go ahead and we're going to take massive market share, and we're going to, we're going to slaughter you guys because we're just going to take all this market share from you. And you're not going to be able to compete with us because we're not really worried about our bottom line right now. We're worried about our top line. That's Jeff Bezos 101, what he did with Amazon over the, why he was the leader of that company, right? And that's definitely what could be what Tesla's up to here. So we'll see how all that shakes out. And after a meeting with India Prime Minister, we'll just call him Modi, in New York in June, Musk said Tesla also is looking to invest in India as soon as humanly possible. I remember, it was a few years ago, I talked about, Tesla's potential in India long term. And a lot of people laughed at me. Oh, India, what a joke. Give me a break. No one there can ever afford a Model 3 or Model Y or any Tesla vehicle, right? And I always thought India could be a massive market. You got 1 billion plus people living there. You have a huge growing middle class that's going to grow insanity over the next 10 to 20 years, in my opinion. I think India could be an insanely huge market for Tesla long term. And a lot of people laughed at me when I would say stuff like that. And now you have Musk meeting with the prime minister over there, right? And we're looking to invest in India as soon as humanly possible, right? Which clearly shows you that this is no joke. This is for real. And Tesla is going to likely build a massive business in India over the next 10, 20 years, which is very, very exciting. And you think about the robo-taxi opportunity. I mean, could it be bigger than it is in India? I mean, my gosh, okay. Think about, okay. So nonetheless, folks, I think more and more companies are starting to realize India, right? I think of the big tech companies, Meta's always been the company that's realized it before everybody else, with Facebook, Instagram, and WhatsApp specifically. And now all the other big tech companies, Apple, Tesla, all these other big dogs, are starting to take India a lot more serious, and they're starting to build facilities there, and they want to start building facilities there. And, Meta was just ahead of that game. I'll just be honest. Zuckerberg had a leg up on everybody. He saw that before Musk saw it. He saw it before Tim Cook saw it. He saw it before anybody. And they're going to be positioned to thrive the best as far as India goes. But Tesla's got a huge opportunity in India. I can tell you that over this next 10, 20 years. Very, very exciting when it comes to that. Now, something fascinating here is this just happened 2 days ago on Twitter. I don't know if you guys saw this. This person says, I plan to increase my stake in Tesla in the coming weeks and months. And what did Elon Musk say back to that? Elon Musk didn't have to say anything, but Elon Musk just decides he wants to chime in, okay? Elon Musk says, please advise people to be wary of margin loans. Tesla has always been a high variability stock, often with no obvious rhyme or reason. We are confident about long-term value creation, but cannot control the manic depressive nature of the stock market. That's quite hilarious. Now, you know what's fascinating about that is Elon Musk, I swear, every time he ever tries to talk down the stock, it's usually the biggest buy signal in the world. I swear to you, every single time this guy's like, our stock's too high, or, be wary of margin loans, or whatever he tries to talk things down, it seems like shortly after that, the stock has another beast run. And so you could have read that, right? You could have read that as, Elon Musk knows some bad numbers are coming. So therefore, because he knows these bad numbers are coming, think about it. A lot of the shorts, they're the biggest Elon Musk followers on Twitter, man. I didn't even know about this Elon Musk thing until somebody had showed me it very recently here, I saw it in the last hour or two, right? I'm telling you, these Tesla shorts, they got notifications on for Elon Musk. As soon as he posts something, what did Elon say? And I wouldn't be surprised if some of them saw that and went out there and short sold the stock, went and bought put options, figuring, Elon's basically saying that the numbers are going to be really bad. I mean, you should know Elon Musk in these tricks by now. I mean, usually whenever he comes down, speaks bad about the stock, it usually flies higher, right? And so it'll be very interesting what happens to the stock now, okay? And we're going to speak about the stock impact, the numbers impact, and what this means for the overall market here in just a moment. But to kind of finalize my initial thoughts here, okay, as a Tesla shareholder, man, I've got to say, I don't think I've been bullish enough on Tesla. I'll just be honest, the way I keep seeing them put up these damn numbers, the more I'm like, I don't think I've been bullish enough. Sometimes you're too bullish on a stock and sometimes you're not bullish enough. And I just feel like, for me personally, I haven't been bullish enough on Tesla. They put up these numbers, and I'm a Tesla customer, right? My two daily drivers are a Model X and Model S Plaid, right? And I know how great Tesla's products are. But at the same time, I am aware of the interest rate environment. I am aware of the kind of concerns about what's going to happen with the economy and all that kind of weariness we have out there. I'm very observant of how bad consumer sentiment has been over the past year. in all these different factors. And yet, even despite all of that, Tesla puts up these shockingly great numbers almost every single quarter. And as a Tesla shareholder, every time I'm just sitting there and I'm just like, how the hell do they do it, man? How do they do it? And I'm still trying to figure it out. Like I'm just like, they just did 83% growth coming off of insanely tough comp to comp against. How the hell did they do it? Literally, I'm just like, how are they putting up these sorts of numbers? It's extraordinary to me. Like, I always expect Tesla to grow. But 83% year over year on those tough comps, it's just shocking, man. And that's the type of stuff that I'm just like, I don't think I've ever been bullish enough on Tesla. You know what I mean? I'm just crazy, absolutely crazy, okay? Now, this matters significantly for Tesla stock, okay, for something I'm about to show you here. It also matters for the market in general in a pretty significant way, okay? First off, in regards to Tesla stock, it matters significantly because of this, okay? When you have Tesla come in and beat analyst expectations by 20,000 plus vehicles in terms of deliveries, right? That basically means likely their earnings per share is going to be much stronger in this current quarter than what analysts are expecting, and their revenue is going to likely be much stronger in this current quarter than what analysts are expecting. If that's the situation, then you likely are in a situation where the overall estimates for the current year are far too low, and you're going to have to bring all those up as an analyst, right? And the analyst expectations for revenue growth for the year are likely too low as well, and you're going to have to bring up those. Which also means, if that's the situation, Tesla's actually trading at a far lower PE ratio than what it looks like right now, right? Because if we say, well, maybe Tesla's going to earn $4 this year, or $4.50 or $4.75 or whatever number you have, right? Then you can say, well, based upon what they're going to do for 2023 numbers, their forward P is actually far lower just for the 2023 numbers. But then if you're going to run those numbers, then you have to bring up all your expectations for next year as well. This is where it matters in such a significant way when you come in with a nice size beat, especially if we're talking a beat that's $1 billion or several $1 billion. Because then you have to start bringing up your numbers for next year as well. Because you have to take into the impact of Cybertruck, plus the company's just executing far better than anybody expected, really. Any of these analysts expected, right? So if you're a bearish or bullish analyst, likely tomorrow you're going to have to bring up numbers. And that's really, really darn intriguing, okay? Really, really intriguing, okay? Now, why this matters for the stock market in general in a pretty significant way as well, right, is there's two parts of this, okay? There's two parts of this that I think are very, very important in regards to this, okay? The first component why this matters to the overall stock market is Tesla's a very big weighting. I'd say there's decent probability Tesla stock will move up and probably move up pretty nicely this week, given those results that just came out. So that obviously helps kind of pull everything up as well, right? A lot of the other big techs might pull up as well. So it's an overall help for the market in regards to that, okay? But the second factor, and I think this is far bigger, in my personal opinion, this is far bigger for the impact on the overall stock market, even bigger than the whole weighting of Tesla and the Qs and Tesla and the S&P 500 and all those sorts of things, okay? The even bigger factor this is, maybe, just maybe, the worldwide economy is holding on a lot better than anyone anticipated. Now, that's nothing new to us. We're finding company after company, things are just coming in better than expected. But with a stock like Tesla, that could be seen as one of the most cyclical companies out there, right? Being that it's an auto manufacturer. And so folks can look at this and say, I think the economy is just stronger than a lot of people anticipate, which means Tesla, along with a lot of other companies, are going to come in with far better earnings per share and revenue expectations for the next few quarters than anybody thought possible, which means the stock market got it right again. The stock market has obviously been moving up significantly over the past 6 to 8 months. And it's been doing that because basically it's been thinking, right? Let's imagine the stock market's like an organism, right? That it can think and do all these things. It's basically thinking that earnings were going to accelerate in the back half of this year and get in a far better place. And when you see Tesla's results like they just put up here, it definitely looks like a realistic possibility that business is just better than anybody anticipated. which means the stock market would be right once again. And we saw the stock market sell off in a massive, massive way, obviously in 2022, up until really like the last 2 months of the year, right? And it did that because it understood like Q4 numbers were probably going to be bad, Q1 numbers were going to be bad, it was at a weaker economic environment. And then you see this move up while numbers are in a weaker troughing place, and you're like, why does the market keep moving up? Basically, the market's signaling that earnings are going to be far better than people anticipated in the back half of 2023. And the more I'm looking at it, the more I'm thinking that's actually probably what's going to end up playing out here in regards to this. And so, which would mean, once again, the stock market actually gets it right as a whole, which is absolutely amazing, okay? So, really excited about these Tesla numbers, folks. Proud Tesla shareholder. I mean, I couldn't be more proud. The results, to put up these sorts of results, I think is just incredible right now. Just absolutely incredible. Very, very happy. Great job, Elon. Great job, team. A lot of super talented folks on the Tesla team. I've met plenty of them in the past. We've had a lot, obviously, because I'm, somebody that covers Tesla. We've had a lot of Tesla employees, join the private stock group over time. And I've had, great discussions with these folks. Every single one of them is, I can tell you, very, very high level. There's no one I've met yet at Tesla that works in Tesla corporate as an engineer, whatever. And we've had a lot of them over the years in the private stock group, right? There's not one of them I've ever been like, wow, this person works for Tesla. Every one of them I've walked away very impressed, very amazed at their intellectual capacity. Let's just put it that way. And it just goes to show you that this sort of team can put up these sorts of numbers time and time again. So, yeah, appreciate you guys joining me as always. I wasn't even planning on doing a video today, but dang, man, I'm excited. That was just smoking numbers, man, just smoking numbers. So appreciate y'all joining me. Thanks so much. If you're looking to apply to join my private group, go ahead and check out the pinned comment down there. That'll be to join us in there, 6 and 7 figure club and all those other things, and join us in the Tesla chat and the Palantir chat and all the other fun ones. Okay. Appreciate y'all. Much love as always, and have a great day.